Well, hello and thanks for tuning in. Today I am going to be reviewing the Value Hobby Yak 55, or as you can plainly see, the 9AK55, and that's all over the plane. I was confused by that, and I found out that the Chinese are afraid of copyright infringement. And I find that very ironic since they have an entire branch of their military dedicated to industrial espionage and stealing secrets and ideas and technology. They're really not into research and development. It's more like steal and sell. However, it's kind of funny. But anyway, this plane, I have 500 flights on it. This is my first 3D plane ever. And no, a dog didn't chew it up. I retired the plane and cannibalized some of the foam in a couple of spots for a repair I was doing on another plane. My skill level has a long way to go before I would consider it really good. However, I have gotten a lot better. This plane is really fun to fly. You can fly it just about anywhere once you get the hang of it and get the style of the plane. You get used to the style of flying. On exactly my 500th flight, my elevator servo gave out on me and I augured in, and it did cause the plane to split in those two places right there on each side of the fuselage. And I've had a number of other crashes with it and unscheduled landings, and I just decided to rebuild the plane and put together my other kit. So far I've been very happy with it. It has some certain pros and cons. I'll go ahead and go into those right now. Alright, this is my new version. Just got the same plane basically. I have recently, after I put this one together, I got one of the Slick 540s, so I'll have a plane ready when this one is dead. The pros to this plane, might as well start there. The price, okay, let's bottom line. It's $25 for the airframe, $32 with shipping. And I'll tell you what, for the money, you're getting a really good deal in my humble opinion. You can pay 3 times as much at some of the competitors, and I'm not knocking their airplanes. I have never flown one. I'm just merely saying that this is a good deal. It's a very durable and forgiving airframe. EPP foam is wonderful stuff if you've never flown it or repaired it. It is highly repairable and easy to repair. I am able to fly this in so many different places that I can't fly a larger airplane. That's one of the reasons that I've been able to put 500 flights on the first one in 5 months. I have a small area, a 40 yard by 40 yard area at a church across the street from my house. I have a small dog park. Well, it's not a dog park. A lot of people walk their dogs there. Not even a quarter of a mile away. And two elementary school athletic fields to fly at within a half a mile. And it just opens up your opportunities a lot more, and it's a really nice little plane to have in your quiver. It's very, very maneuverable, and it's highly responsive on high rates with this thing. Oh my goodness, it's just a lot of fun to mess around with. I've done a couple of little things differently to this plane. For example, they provide Z-bends to go on each end of the turnbuckles, or the push rods, excuse me, and I've gone with a turnbuckle setup, and I think the next time I'm going to go with some easy connectors, because I like the ability to be able to adjust manually versus just through the trim, and I've done that on all the control surfaces. I've added a little reinforcement excuse me, in the tail. I've added reinforcement along the fuselage to help prevent splitting. And with this particular plane, I'm going with, and I'll get into the electronics and the cons to this, but I have a Twisted Hobbies 12 amp ESC right here. This is a Cobra motor with a 9x5 prop, and I have a Lemon RX receiver, and I'm using Gforce 500 milliamp batteries. It's just a pretty ingenious design. At first I thought it was going to be really flimsy and would be a terrible flying machine, but actually I'm wrong. It really flies very well, tracks pretty darn good, and I'm very happy with it. So let's go into some of the cons. Okay, now for the cons. There's a few, alrighty. Let's just start at the beginning. When I got the box, it looked like the Postal Service had smashed it in a door. It's a really flimsy cardboard box, and again, it's to help meet their price point. I wasn't so concerned about the EPP being damaged, but the spars, the carbon fiber, and the electronics I had a concern. So much so that I actually videotaped myself opening the box as kind of proof I could show them. And sure enough, the main wing spar was broken. It was shattered. And one of the servos was glitchy and a piece of junk. To their credit, they did replace the parts. So give them credit there. One of the next thing you'll notice is the instructions that come with this plane are simply pathetic. I really don't know how they can put these in with a plane. First of all, this isn't even the plane I have. Remember, I have the 9 AK-55. This is for a Red Bull. But, you know, maybe they have similar characteristics. I'll give you an example. Well, first, go to the RC Group's link. They're going to be your best bet. That guy who has the instructions for building this, he designed the plane, and he has some great ideas and suggestions, and you can build the plane with what he has to go on. And here's a perfect example. Might be hard for you to see there, but these are the servo arms with the extensions and with the nuts and tiny nuts and bolts to basically screw them together. And it's a pain in the ass, let me tell you, to do this. I did one, and then I found out about the RC Group's video, and instead of going through all this, all you have to do is put on a piece of shrink tube and shrink it down. And I've got over 500 flights on the first plane and 100 on the second plane, and I have had no failures with the shrink tubing holding up. So I'll vouch for that. But the instructions are just pitiful. The next thing I had a problem with was the electronics. I was flying just fine, and then all of a sudden, after about 50 flights, I'd be flying fine for that particular flight, and then for no explicable reason, I would just lose power. I'd drop down to only 10 to 15% of power, and I do not know why. I suspected maybe I was overloading the ESC, so I bought a new ESC. Same problem. So maybe it's the motor. And I did check battery connections and other things. The receiver was receiving signal, but I changed it anyway. I went from a Spectrum to a Lemon. I used 2 different ESCs, 2 of these little cheapo value hobby motors. And I think what the problem was is the magnets get loose. They were starting to fall down below the bell here. And well, I wound up putting on a Twisted Hobbies ESC on my new plane, and with the Cobra motor, that still didn't correct the problem, or excuse me, with the Value Hobby motor. And when I put on the Cobra motor, I haven't had a problem since. I believe it was these motors. I won't buy any more of them. Maybe you get lucky and you've had luck with them, but I haven't. So I cannot recommend those. I'd say for the $2 MG90 servos, I got my money's worth. I got one for 500 flights, and the others lasted 250 to 300 flights. And for a little plastic geared servo, I got to be happy with that. All right, another issue I have with this company Value is they are frequently out of relevant and pertinent parts, like props, motors, ESCs, and the plane kits themselves. I decided I was going to buy one of these last June, the Yak 55. I wanted to get that particular plane. They didn't get it till August. And it's not so much that they're just out of stock of stuff, but it takes months. They were out of the props for that little Cobra, or that little Value motor for, I think, 2 months. So they've got a supply problem or something going on there that's really very inconsistent. So that's something you're going to have to deal with. and just keep telling yourself, 25 bucks for the plane, because that takes away a lot of these painful issues. Another thing, I haven't found anything that'll stick to this other than glue. Packing tape, Scotch tape, blue tape, extreme tape, two-sided tape, the back of Velcro, you know, the sticky side of Velcro tape. Nothing sticks to this foam. I have an EPP, this is called a Grim Reaper. This is from Crash Test Hobbies. Everything sticks to that. Apparently there's a different chemical composition to this foam. And anything that you put together with tape, any reinforcements, like you do have to put reinforcement strips of tape on all of your flexion joints, on your rudder, ailerons. And let me show you something here. I got this idea from the RC Group's video. This is great stuff. Quick grip, you can get it at Walmart. It's 2 ounces, and it cost, I think, just under $4 with tax. Awesome stuff. Don't use it on Dollar Tree foam, but on it'll melt it. On EPP, metal, wood, plastic, all sorts of things. This stuff is really, really wonderful. I glued my spar in with it. Oh, here's another little thing I wanted to tell you. I extended my spar. The shattered one that I got, I saved the piece that was good. And they don't provide you with a long enough spar in this kit to reach from wingtip to wingtip. So I have added a little overlay here to help keep the wingtip from breaking. And that's what they look like originally. And all it really does is leaves this wingtip susceptible to breakage. And trust me, it will. But look at that. Look how much bandwidth you can get with this stuff without actually tearing it up. Now another little problem that I have with this stuff, I'm sorry. The reason I mentioned this glue is any tape that you put down to reinforce anything, you got to have some glue under it. It just will not stick. It'll just fall right off. Don't even bother. So again, I highly recommend this. One other my last gripe, and then we'll get out and fly. Look at the paint. This is from the Slick, and that paint is just blah. It doesn't pop at all. It doesn't go, hey, here I am up in the sky. Oh well. What do you expect for 25 bucks, huh? So, you know, I'm not a pilot. Like, go to YouTube and type in Michael Wargo or type in Chris Jewett. These guys, man, they're insane the way they can fly an airplane. And a lot of other people, too. I'm nowhere near that class. So instead of trying to impress you with my flying skills, I thought I'd take you out I went up in the mountains last fall, and I've got some nice fall scenery up in the mountains near McCall, Idaho, about 5,000 foot level. And hey, let's go enjoy some flying, okay? Well, I got to looking at this table here and thought, well, what the heck? Might as well try it. So, yeah. Oh, I missed. beautiful up there, but boy, down in this long grass, there's a lot of debris. Oh, phew. Okay, here we are back in the city. And it's the middle of February and I am flying with no gloves and no coat. That's great. Now, again, you can get all up in the air electronics and everything with this plane for less than $100. And I do recommend the Cobra motor over the Gforce motor. And it's kind of nice because you can fly it regular like a normal airplane, just using ailerons, elevator, and rudder in a normal fashion. And it's a nice, smooth flying little plane. Or if you want to go kind of stupid, you can do all kinds of fun things. Oh yeah, we got to go through the goalposts. How about under the goalposts? You know, the worst thing I'm going to happen is to it is it's going to rip or something. And I get out about 12 cents worth of glue and I'm ready to fly again. Okay, I got one more thing I want to show you here that you can do with this. And that's not it. Hey, I meant to do that. Okay, so I don't want to get too high here. And right now I'm just judging the breeze in my face. Try to get a good appropriate height and distance here. There we go. Well, better fly this thing, huh? Yeah, so you can have a little fun dropping parachutes. All right, hey, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Drop by again sometime. And good luck up there.